What immediately comes to mind when you hear the word Africa? Do you imagine a land with stunning natural beauty, vibrant cultures, and rich diversity? Or do thoughts of poverty, famine, conflict, and disease flood your mind? For decades, people's understanding of Africa was shaped by Western media and history books, which often painted a bleak picture of the continent. Unfortunately, even today, conversations about Africa still tend to focus on its challenges rather than its triumphs. The media's portrayal of Africa is typically negative, perpetuating stereotypes of violence, disease, and instability. This negative narrative has a powerful impact on public perception and shapes how people view the world around them. It is fascinating to note that despite the fact that one of the earliest records of civilization can be traced back to Egypt and Africa, the continent is often depicted as dark and uncivilized. However, it is an indisputable fact that a significant portion of contemporary knowledge has its origins in ancient Africa, particularly in the civilization of ancient Kemet in Egypt. Kemet served as a trailblazer in every aspect of human activity, laying the groundwork for subsequent epistemology. Its dynastic civilizations were highly advanced and well organized, and their knowledge was spread throughout the world, resulting in significant advances in development. Kemet's contributions to the world in terms of intellect and culture are beyond question, as it is the birthplace of numerous fields, including mathematics, science, astrology, architecture, medicine, building, the arts, language, metaphysics, religion, and spirituality. It's amazing how Westerners who have been flocking to Africa in recent years are left astounded by what they find. Gone are the stereotypes of Africa being a dark and disease-ridden continent. Thanks to campaigns like the Year of Return in Ghana, West Africa, many Black Americans and celebrities have been warmly welcomed to the country. For first-time visitors, the experience is often life-changing as they come face-to-face with a completely different reality from what they had been led to believe in the West. Many confessed that they had been fed lies about Africa and that all they knew was poverty and disease. Following his visit to Africa, the renowned television personality Steve Harvey experienced a transformative shift in his perception of the continent. His encounter left an indelible mark, inspiring him to passionately advocate for people, particularly Black Americans, to explore Africa firsthand. Overwhelmed by his profound admiration for certain African nations, he embarked on an extraordinary venture, taking his popular show, Family Feud, to selected countries across the continent, a decision fueled by his immense delight and desire to showcase the vibrancy and allure of Africa.
You just playing with me right now.
During his trip to South Africa, renowned comedian and actor Hart shared his experience during a press conference. He was taken aback by how the media only seems to portray Africa in a negative light. Instead of showing the beauty of places like Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban, the focus is often on violence, disease, and poverty. As a result, people's perception of Africa is shaped by these narrow and biased representations. It's no wonder many are reluctant to visit, fearing they'll be in danger. But once Hart set foot on African soil, his preconceptions were shattered. He was amazed by the incredible sights he saw and the warm welcome he received. He couldn't help but wonder why the media didn't show the amazing things Africa has to offer, and why more people aren't encouraged to visit.
So when something about Africa is talked about, it's normally bad, it's normally violent, it's normally something about the country or something that just happened where a disease broke, and it's never good. So your perception is what people have forced you to believe. So until you get the heart to go, I'm going, I want to see for myself, you don't know. So all I know is what the news says. So in my mind, I'm like, hey man, I'm not trying to go over there and get kidnapped. Okay? Like it's a reality. It's not me saying it to hypothetically say it. I'm saying from what I've seen. And then I go and I see an amazing city. We're blown away by seeing fans, by seeing people that are like, yo, we love your music. Why not show us that? You know, why not show the entertainers that love to give back, that love to embrace their fans, that love to be a part of charitable things? Why not show us the amazing stuff that's over here, so when we get here, we see for ourselves, and then our senses are enhanced to where not only do we want to come back, but we want to come back and we want to be involved with things that you have going on. But until we get the heart as artists and we spread that rumor ourselves, we don't know. And to be honest, we're a community. That's how I ended up coming over. I know Nicki. I know Beyonce. I know Jay-Z and all. I talked to them. Hey, guys, is there anything to worry about? Guys, should I get these shots? They told me to get the shots. Do I need the shots? This was a big thing for me. I'm not lying. Like, I literally called several people. When I called people, I had people track down people that were from Cape Town, from Johannesburg, and I talked to them. Hey, man, am I going to get bit by a mosquito and not be able to come back? Kevin, what are you talking about? You sound ignorant. No, you don't need nothing like that. It's the same. You're going to come over and you're going to be shocked. And I was like, I know, but they said I need shots. Do I need these shots? No, but I'm repeating what I've heard. I'm repeating what the media has forced me to believe. So now that I'm here, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I don't need shit. I'm fine. It's a city. Like, I feel like I'm in New York. I felt like I was in Malibu the other day. Like, it's the same exact thing. And it's frustrating because it makes you guys, as the media, it makes me go to y'all and question y'all. You have the chance to put out the positive side of where you are and where you live. It's you that pushes out everything else. So when you really ask, what is your perception? My perception is what you made it. That's really the reality. And that's what the media never understands. The media looks and goes, why do you do this? I do this because you did it. It started with you. We don't get stuff from us just getting it. We grab it from you. And then the states go and amplify it. She just talked about a story about me getting beat up or something. I guarantee you it'll be on media takeout and whatever else within the next 4 hours in the States. But where did it start? It started here. So that's a message that goes back to y'all from a question that came to me.
Kevin Hart immersed himself in the history and culture of South Africa. He visited museums and historical landmarks and conversed with local experts. This allowed him to gain a deeper appreciation for the complexities and richness of African history and culture. He also visited a local school where he was impressed by the children's enthusiasm for learning, creativity, and talent. He emphasized the importance of supporting education and investing in the future of African children. Kevin Hart's trip to Africa was definitely a life-changing experience that highlighted the significance of cultural exchange and understanding. He emphasized the similarities and connections between African and African American cultures, while advocating for greater investment in education and appreciation for African history and culture. The Western media's depiction of Africa is deeply flawed and troubling, as it perpetuates harmful stereotypes and misconceptions about a continent. Words like hut, dark, tribe, primitive, and savage are thrown around carelessly, creating an image of Africa as a backward and uncivilized place. Africa has often been portrayed as a mysterious dark continent and a dangerous place, characterized by poverty, war, and disease. Sadly, stereotype overlooks the continent's diverse cultures, economic growth, and progress in various fields. For example, films like Blood Diamond in 2006 and The Constant Gardener in 2005 highlight conflict and corruption in African countries, perpetuating the perception of Africa as a troubled region. That's not all. The continent is often exoticized in Western media, with a focus on traditional tribal cultures, rituals, and ceremonies. Such portrayals can reinforce stereotypes and fail to capture the complexity and diversity of contemporary African societies. Movies like Out of Africa, 1985, or National Geographic's coverage of indigenous tribes, often emphasize what the West sees as backward living, rather than highlighting modern lives and achievements. But this portrayal is nothing new. It has a long history dating back to the 15th century when the Papal Bull of 1455 authorized European powers to conquer and convert non-Christian peoples in Africa. Despite the progress made since then, global news organizations continue to maintain a negative reportage policy when it comes to Africa. This raises questions about the ethical standards and fairness of reporting in Western media. For those who claim Africa as their primordial heritage, lineage, and descendancy, the portrayal of Africa in Western media is deeply troubling. The continent is often depicted as an abyss with no culture, history, tradition, or people. The use of the word dark to describe Africa connotes fear, foreboding, and evil, perpetuating harmful stereotypes that have been used to marginalize African communities for centuries. The media industry knows that bad news is a big seller. People tend to feel better about their problems when they see others struggling with bigger ones. A European who can't get a mortgage may feel a glimmer of hope after seeing footage of people in Africa without electricity, running water, or enough food to eat. Unfortunately, Hollywood movies often reinforce negative stereotypes about Africa, portraying it as a place of constant war and disease, even though similar problems exist all around the world. This is why Marvel's Black Panther movie was so popular and unique. It dared to show a part of Africa, although fictional, as an advanced country, as a country well developed that didn't need aid from the outside world, something that has never been in cinematic history. The Western media has created a rather narrow and one-dimensional portrayal of Africa, depicting the continent as a poverty-stricken, war-torn land with no hope. The images often shown are of helpless communities and malnourished children with sad eyes, perpetuating the idea of Africa as a place in constant need of foreign assistance. Furthermore, conflicts and wars are portrayed as a ubiquitous feature of the continent, with people constantly fighting against each other. This limited perspective fails to capture the rich and diverse culture, the beauty of the landscapes, and the resilience of the African people. Despite the often negative portrayal of Africa in the media, there are many parts of the continent that are flourishing with thriving cities, stable economies, and technological advancements. While poverty and civil unrest exist in some areas, it's important to note that this is not the whole story. Fortunately, with the rise of social media and the promotion of local media outlets, people all around the world can now see the true beauty of Africa. Travel bloggers and social media influencers are playing a crucial role in changing perceptions by showcasing real Africa. Take, for example, Wode Maya, a Ghanaian YouTuber who has dedicated his channel to highlighting the incredible wonders of the continent. With their efforts, the world is beginning to see a different, more accurate picture of Africa. In truth, the continent has emerged as a sought-after destination for a growing number of African Americans, as attested by diaspora groups. Drawn by a range of factors, some of these individuals have actually made momentous decisions to relocate to Africa, forging new paths and embracing fresh opportunities. Africa's allure to the global world has ignited a vibrant tourism industry, setting aflame the potential for economic prosperity across the entire African continent. This new understanding, respect, and appreciation for the continent's beauty has breathed new life into the economies of various African nations, paving the way for sustainable development and promising avenues of growth. Gone are the days when international news outlets were the only source of information about the world. The internet and social media have given us access to a wealth of knowledge and the power to form our own opinions. Africa, with all its beauty and uniqueness, is no longer shrouded in mystery. Yet, despite this accessibility, some still cling to outdated preconceptions about the continent. Have you ever found yourself guilty of such biases, or do you still hold onto them today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, be sure to like the video, share, and subscribe to the New Africa channel for more exciting future videos.